was a pretty good episode of Gangsta. I overall gave it a 7 out of 10. I'll give you my reasons why, but I don't know, no, I think it met my expectations, because I wasn't really setting anything high for it, like it getting like an 8 or something. I was expecting it to kind of just be a 7, like a really good 7, and it was a good 7, it was solid. So there's what I'll talk about. We'll go into each category, like art, animation, all that stuff. But first I want to get to the opening. I didn't really like the song that much, but I do love the visuals. The visuals have a lot of flair, and I like the style. But I don't really feel as if, like, they really fit the song. I felt like a different song could have gone better with that opening, especially visually. But yeah, I thought the visuals in the opening were good. Song could have been better. Now about the art and the animation in the show, I thought the colors in the background, like, they're so reminiscent of Shampoo, and I really like that. I liked all of the art. I didn't think the characters would fit as well as they did. Like, I thought the characters would stand out too much, but they never felt as if they were like, how should I say this? They never felt as if, like, they were, like, cheeky, alright? The characters never really subtracted anything from the show. They really did fit inside of the setting. However, speaking of the character designs, I did think that they did look pretty unique. I did like the character designs. If you looked at them, like, if you put them between like 100 different anime characters, I'd be able to point out Nicholas and Warwick, and that was a good thing. The fact that they made these characters stand out enough, but not to the point to where they subtracted from the show. So I did like that. This OST sounds so close to Nujabe's, man. Now, it's the guy, like, the person working on the OST is one of Nujabe's friends, and if you don't know who Nujabe's is, and I'm probably saying his name wrong, but who cares? He's the guy that worked on the OST for Samurai Champloo. So, yeah, you knew the OST was gonna be good, but I just didn't think, like, it'd be this close to Nujabes as it really was. I'm just gonna call him Nujabes. Nujabes, baby. I did like the voice acting, really good job on the OST, sound effects were nice too, so there's that. The biggest thing about Gangsta though, however, was by far the characterization. Like, here's how I saw it at first. I thought Warwick was completely destroying Nicholas because, like, Warwick was so much more interesting, he seemed more upbeat. And then I'm like, Nicholas is really dull. But then the more the episode goes on, the better Nicholas gets. And it was really good. It was really kind of amazing to kind of see how much characterization he was getting. Because even though he was deaf, he still had more characterization because you could see you could kind of learn something about him just through his actions and his facial expressions, and that was something that I really did like. The fact that you can kind of see how a character is just through their facial expressions, I thought that was just really, really cool. And the last scene, like the last scene where he like flipped over the car with just his foot, I mean, like, it's ridiculous, but in the part where he started talking too, it's ridiculous, but it really did help towards characterizing that he's a psycho. He's insane, and they did a really good job. The director did a really good job of making sure that that was shown. There was one moment in the story, like during the dialogue, when Warwick was talking about or it was the woman that he was talking about. They were talking about there being women and children in the same situation as the black girl was in, right? So here's what I thought about this setting. I thought specifically for this episode, this would have worked out better in like a Bakano type setting. Kind of like this, because Bakano setting is really similar to this. The only difference is that I feel as if Bakano setting is a lot more lively. And I feel like it's dark, but it's lively. And I feel as if, like, it would have worked better in that setting because I feel as if these how should we say this? The bad guys of this episode, the antagonists, would have felt a lot more, how should I say this, impactful in that type of setting, because you would have seen kind of what they're doing to the people in the city. How should I say this, I guess that if the bad guys would have felt more impactful if the city was livelier, and you would have been able to see, like, what they were directly influencing. And that's kind of, like, my thought on, like, the setting. Not that, like, the setting was bad at all, because it did really help the show. It was really good. But I felt as if it would have worked better if the setting was more lively, so you could just see kind of how the antagonists were really impacting the area. Nice dog tags at 1430. Yes, I'm still nitpicking out this type of stuff. Speaking of the dog tags though, the animation, the basic animation like walking and talking and stuff, that was really good. But in terms of like the fight scene, I didn't think it was all that great. It wasn't bad. I just guess I was expecting a little more, just because like, I don't know, this series had a lot of like Shampoo type vibes, so I was like, we're gonna get a fight scene that's really similar to Shampoo, or Champloo I should say, but but it wasn't all that similar. The directing for the fight was just kind of meh, I guess, but I think overall the fight really did its job. I just kind of felt, I personally felt a little disappointed, but I felt like, I guess, a little more budget into the animation there would have worked. That's just my opinion. The fight still did what it was supposed to do, so I'm not I'm not really too disappointed in that. I just kind of wish that, I don't know, it had a little more flair to it. And that's pretty much it. This went longer than I thought it would, but I think this is kind of going to be how my like reviews are more centered now, I guess, because I kind of went through each bullet point one by one and had them kind of like in paragraphs, but they were kind of like in notes. I don't know. I guess this is what happens when you start scripting stuff. This just becomes a habit. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Gangsta. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think about it? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys leave a like, you know, comment like I just said. And I'll see you guys later. I might get a To Love Ruth thing out. It's gonna be more like the actually no, I'll just let that be a surprise. Deuces.